How lovely. You've arrived. It's time for another bonus pod. And today we're going to focus on the one thing that seems to drive more attention in this world right now than anything else. Listen, there's a reason why the Kardashians run the entertainment industry. It isn't their incredible, compelling personalities. It isn't their acerbic wit. I think you know what I'm talking about. It's that ass. Booty drives, clicks, likes, retweets, engagement, ratings. Booty is a serious commodity. And every woman in the world really does love to train her booty. Every straight guy in the world, myself included, and every lesbian certainly appreciates that. But most guys, they just seem to avoid it. Maybe because you can't see it in the mirror, flex it and pose it. But just like your rear delts and your rhomboids, it's one of those things that most guys love to neglect, and it's a big mistake. The glutes contribute to performance as much as anything else in your body when it comes to sprinting, jumping, lateral movement, stability, injury prevention. Having a strong booty is very, very important, and it will elevate every single piece of your performance. It also is one of those pieces of your body that every man, woman, child, senior citizen, gay person, straight person, lesbian, it doesn't matter. We love to focus on people's booties. Aesthetically, it's incredibly pleasing to have a nice muscular rump. So, what I'm going to do is break down a lower body glute-centric workout with the aid of my wife, Bianca Kajlich, who has a world-class dumper. I'm going to show you a breakdown of a very, very well thought out, very practical, very effective, glute-centric lower body workout right here on this bonus pod. So, we've established you can train the booty a little bit more frequently. You can train it with some serious intensity. Awesome. One of the biggest mistakes I think people make is that they have this very monolithic approach to training the booty. They do their walking lunges, or they do some hip thrusts, or like a lot of guys, they'll just say, hey, I squat heavy. I got it. Not necessarily true. A lot of people will apply different angles and techniques to make sure that they hit their biceps from different angles. Many people will do that with their chest. How many of you out there will do some decline work to get the lower part of the chest, some incline, right? You want to get the outer area underneath, right next to the armpit, and then, of course, the inner chest. And you're doing all these different exercises to make sure that you hit all these different angles. Reality is, pectorals, pretty small muscle, and if you hit it with some solid compound movements, with good intensity and the right amount of volume, things are going to work out. It's completely unnecessary. But then, when it comes to an area like the butte, which is rather complex, which has varying different insertion points and different connections, you really do want to be able to focus in on different areas and make sure that you get comprehensive growth. This is going to aid in performance much better. And of course, it's going to make for a much more visually appealing booty. So I'm going to walk you through this workout that I did with my wife yesterday, and give you some insight into the method behind the madness. The banded hip thrust. And notice I add a band around the waist for resistance, but I also put a band around Bianca's knees so that she can get 2 reps of some adduction to add in some other parts of the booty, but also it forces her to stay in the contraction of the actual hip thrust a couple seconds. So you're getting a better contraction and you're adding in some adduction. Go ahead and do 3 sets, 6 to 8 reps. Although the hip thrust is a movement that you can actually start using serious weight pretty quickly, and I do encourage you to go heavy and really see how far you can go with the hip thrust. Don't use weights that force you to sacrifice the contraction. I like to feel that contraction at the top. I like to see people that I work with do the same thing. That really is the benefit of this exercise, is when you're in that kind of horizontal position, to be able to really contract the glutes and bring yourself up to parallel, tuck that tailbone, and pretend like you're cracking a walnut with them ass cheeks, okay? So really focus on that contraction. And again, I do encourage you to go heavy, but don't use weights that are going to compromise that contraction at the top. Use heavy weights that still give you the ability to pimp that exercise all the way through, okay? We moved on next to the 45-degree hyperextension. I like to keep my torso almost rounded like a C. And I did it weighted with band and dumbbell. My wife did it, she just did it with body weight. Either is fine. This is one of those exercises, again, and is the case with almost all booty movements. The full range of motion and the contraction are much more important than the resistance itself. Okay, so I'll walk you through that exercise here. 45-degree hyperextensions. I love these. Great booty exercise. Make sure you focus on that contraction, just like any other exercise. Holding my elbows real tight to my body, keeping them at the same angle so the contraction is all in my booty. Notice how I hold it there for a second. Nice. Even do a little drop set. Use whatever resistance you're capable of using while still getting a top-notch contraction, even if that's no weight at all. It's better to do it and do it well than to compromise your form and your contraction. Okay, now we've hit it with 2 bread and butter exercises. I encourage you to do 3 sets of each exercise of the following, the preceding 2 exercises. 3 sets, 6 to 8 reps with as much weight as you can handle with good form in that rep range. Do as many warm-up sets as you like, but really focus on just getting as much as you can out of these 6 sets that you did with the preceding 2 exercises. Now it's time to move on to a circuit, okay? We've got the glutes fired up. We've done some strength training. We've really moved some force and generated force. Now it's time to just get that pump and hammer it in, because the glutes, as I've alluded to before, are a very strange, very dense piece of musculature that have a lot of fast twitch and slow twitch muscles. So I like to hit them heavy and hit them hard right out of the gate. Now it's time to dig deep, go deeper into that rep range and really feel the burn. Okay, so we're going to do a circuit of 3 separate exercises, each one focusing on different parts of the booty. We start up with a high step up. I want to show you my wife doing it and explain why she's doing something really well and what you should do to replicate that. Okay, check it out. Make sure the box height is above the knee so you can get a full stretch of the glute. And notice how she controls the descent. She's not using her back foot to jump up, using that working leg to contract the glute and then slow on the descent on the way down so you don't waste that eccentric, which is actually more important on this exercise. 10 reps on each leg, 20 total of the high step up. As you noticed, she was doing it weightless. It's a pretty tough exercise, and you really do want to make sure that you're getting that slow negative and you're not just getting up to the top and then falling back down, or using the rear leg to just jump yourself up. Focus on extending that knee high enough to get a good stretch in the glutes, and then using that glute to drive yourself up and then lower yourself slowly back down. Okay, the descent really is important on that exercise. Without getting any rest, go right into walking lunges. Okay, one of the best stretch position exercises for your glutes. It will really stretch out that area and is excellent for the area where your hamstrings connect to your glutes, that bottom part. Okay, no one likes to see, saggy nalgas flopping over the bottom of your hamstrings. You want to keep that tight. So we've really engaged that upper area with the step ups. Now we're going to go immediately into 20 walking lunges, 10 each leg. So you get off that box, check it out, walk them out. Bianca just finished those high step ups. She's immediately going to the walking lunge. Try to put that knee on the front working leg right above your toe. So not necessarily 90 degrees, but not over the toes, but right above where your foot meets your toe bones. Really get a deep stretch. Touch that back knee to the ground. Keep on walking. 20 reps total, 10 each leg. As soon as you return to the box, it's now time to finish up this circuit with 20 of the banded adductors. Do them seated. Really watch how my wife drives out the tension, hitting that outer part of the glutes, the adductors, and of course in the upper right hand part, or excuse me, the upper outer part of the glute, pulling it all together. You're going to do 20 reps of each, 10 each leg for the step ups and the walking lunges, so equaling 20 total. And then you're going to come back and do 20 adductors without any rest in between. Take a good 1 to 2 minute rest in between circuits and do that circuit 3 times. Keep your butt in place. Legs should be about 90 degrees and just squeeze it out to the side, hitting that outer part of the booty, upper outer part, getting those dimples, getting strong lateral movement, getting those hips and booty pulled in tight. It's the last movement in the circuit. 20 of everything. Look at how Bianca pumps them out. Very nice. After that, do some calves, maybe some abs, and you can certainly call it a day. I think that there are people in the world who can benefit from doing a traditional kind of bodybuilding bro split where you're hitting certain body parts every day. But most people, myself included, are going to benefit much more from having either full body workout sessions or separating the body into 2 parts, having lower body, upper body, and training those with some frequency throughout the week. If you're insane, vain narcissist like me, I will train 6 days a week, lower body, upper body, lower body, upper body, lower body, upper body. But the general population actually isn't okay, or it isn't sufficient to do it twice a week. I actually think you would see more benefit from most people training 4 times a week total, upper body, lower body, upper body, lower body, or vice versa, however you like. But make sure you do split them up. It gives you the ability to have, say, a day like the one we went through today, where you're focusing on glutes and hamstring and more of that posterior. Then you can have another lower body workout where you're focusing on the knee hinge and things like squats, or split squats and front squats, leg press, whatever it may be. Obviously add in some glutes and hamstrings for those workouts, but that's a great way to break things up. Another way would be to, have your upper body, for instance, to break up doing the entire upper body twice a week, but one day you're going to have a little bit more of a pull leaning, and then the other day you're going to have a little bit more of a push leaning. You're going to do push and pull in both, but work a little bit harder on the rear delts and the lats and the lower back on day 1, and then on day 2, you would have a little bit more of the majority of your training be geared towards overhead pressing, bench pressing, things like that. That's just a very practical and I think effective way to break up your training and then include some really glute specific training in your regimen. You can also add in, especially you ladies out there, because the hip girdle is one of the things that really separates men from women, and you do have more area and musculature to work with there. Have it just another throw in on top of your 4 main days on Saturday, 15-minute here, 20 minutes at the most of just glute specific stuff. You can do it at home with bands or with even with no weight, walking lunges and things, and like kickbacks with 2-pound weights, 3-pound weights, ankle weights, things like that. It's really easy to effectively train the glutes without any resistance. So I encourage people explore that. Just adding in a glute specific kind of touch up session on a different day when you're not training. All right, there you go. Gotta thank everybody. Thank you so much for supporting me, helping me. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and make sure you get updated on whenever I'm releasing any type of new video. Also, my Patreon is available. I will link to it below if you're looking for any more help. I genuinely enjoy doing it. It just gives me some type of buzz to be able to be just that little bit of help to kind of break people through that resistance that we all have, and to taking that first couple steps into wanting to change ourselves. So there's 3 tiers available. Again, the link would be below in the little description area, unless I'm remiss in my duties. Bye. Love you.